Hello, beautiful ones. Welcome to my live Q&A. Very excited to chat with you today. And listen, this is going to be about you. So please bring your voice to the comments because then I can better serve you. I'll wait for a few people to come on first and then I'll read out exactly what I'll be speaking into today. Hello, it's me. I've been wondering if after all these years you'd like to hang out with me, my friends. Hey, beautiful Audrey, Karina, Jody, Neha, Julia. It's just a secret that we're separate. We are one collective now. Hello, new world, here we come. Old world, yes, we are done. We're so ready to up level into our best selves. It is time to fucking who you are. Yes, it is. Hey Jen, how you doing? Oh my goodness, I am actually going to write a song, definitely during the Corona times because I miss my singing so much and it's really been on the edge of my heart. Anyway, that is for you. So let's dive in and please, please, please do comment during this Q&A because like I said, you've got me in real time and the more vulnerable you can be in the comments, the more that you're actually expanding and elevating this conversation. Okay, so the question that was sent to Charlotte this week is, and for those of you that are new to this group, my name is Lucy Shah Jahan. I'm so happy to have you here. This is a space for you to really get presence to who you really are and the type of relationship that you want. This is not about mediocrity. This is not about doing nothing and staying in the same place. This is about fucking rising. And I am literally speaking on behalf of the whole entire universe right now. You know, there is way too much suffering, way too much victim, way too much woe is me that's been going on. And now is the time for us to really open our hearts and say yes to the bigness of ourselves so that we can all together as one consciousness fucking thrive and experience deep connection. And so today's question is, it's perfect. It was Lucy. I'm running out of time and I'm terrified that I'll never find my beautiful soulmate. I feel desperate and needy, and that's exactly how I come across to men, which always sends them running. Charlotte didn't even tell me who this was from, so hopefully watching or you'll catch the replay. But I know that this is so pertinent for so many of you. Hey Swati, hey Marina, hey Charlotte. So I am going to dive straight on in. There's two parts to this, okay? So the first part is Lucy, I'm running out of time. Who in here, truthfully, let's just put our hands on our heart while I'm sharing with you, but while you're listening and hanging out with me and your soul sisters. I'd love for you just to put your hands across your own heart space right now and let's really leverage this time we have together. And just really drop into what it is for you right now during this quarantine. What is your big fear? Is it that time is running out? Is it your fertility? Is it that you don't trust love and you don't know who to be when it comes to love and you're actually just quite terrified about letting love in? Because this neediness that was in this question directly stems from the little girl inside of you who has felt abandoned, who's felt rejected. And that is why up until this very moment today, she is living very apologetically. Relationships. Hey Gemsy. Hey Charlotte. How you doing? Good to see you. I just want you to connect right now. Can you relate to that little girl who's really, really scared to let someone in, who's really scared to bring in that heart and that vulnerability? I should see a lot of likes, a lot of hearts, a lot of comments right now. Not for me, but like, I know that that's what's in this space. So please have the courage to be honest and just to share, even if there's girls you've worked with me, even if this was where you used to be. To the comments right now. I can tell you right now, it used to be me. So I'm the first to put my hand up to say, yes, this was me. I was fucking terrified to bring in my heart to any romantic relationship. That to me was terrifying, which is why I never used to do it. I'd do everything else in relationships. I'd be fun on the date. I'd bring in a fun personality. I'd listen. I'd show up on time. But when it came to actually going to the next level, no, the little girl inside of me was like backpedaling like a mother freaker. She did not know what to do. Actually vulnerable. Neha, thank you. Hell yes to all of the above. Karina, I used to be there, definitely not now. Two of those women, those beautiful women, are my clients. And they are in my mastermind. And I just had a beautiful phone call with one of my clients about vulnerability. It's not something we just talk about once. Vulnerability, for some people in this life, they will not actually have experienced it, and they will die with the music still inside of them. So please comment. Jen Godfrey, thank you. I definitely used to feel the panic of running out of time, being left behind. I just didn't even know how to bring in my vulnerability. Beautiful, thank you for that. Another rock star client, Wendy, sharing. You people say, okay, beautiful. Not beautiful that you do that, but beautiful that there's truth in the comments here. So we're going to unpack that first question. For those of you that really feel like time is running out, this is putting you into a cycle of fight or flight. It's putting you into panic, and it is keeping you in lack, so that you are feeling less than when it comes to you actually dating someone or even just chatting online or whatever it is. While this is running beneath the surface, that little girl is running the show. She is literally hijacking your greatness right now in every single relationship, not just when it comes to men. This comes to the workplace as well, where she'll only let you go this far, or she'll only let you earn that amount of money, right? Really take this in. This is a very powerful conversation. The fear of time running out is very real, especially for those of you that want to have. It's not like things wait for us to get our shit together, right? That was really, really big for me when I was 36, living in New York City in a share apartment. Nothing hit me square in the face like my fertility, and also knowing that I have PCOS and that I had doctors telling me at 27, hey, now would be a good time to have a baby. So I did massively that, like, oh my fucking God, time is not on my side. Gemma, I thought I was being totally open-hearted. Wrong, numb as fuck. Thank you for your honesty. Such a great conversation when collectively we can all share our truth, because we're all made up of the same thing. And I know that you're all in here because you actually do want to be able to receive and allow in your soulmate. Otherwise, you wouldn't be in this community. And if you don't want to have a soulmate, then you're in the wrong community. This is not about staying safe and single and independent. This is the wrong community, so please leave, okay? Because your comments aren't going to be adding anything to this community. This is about you having the willingness to dissolve all of those fucking bodyguards that you've got in your life right now. And don't be surprised, because there are many parts of you that are blind spots that you don't even realize. Just like Jemsy said, who is a beautiful client of mine, I didn't know. I thought I was being open-hearted. I didn't know that I was actually numb. Who can relate to that? Where you feel like you're doing all the right things, you're doing the affirmations, going to podcasts, reading all the self-help books. Yet, if you look at your life, you're not attracting in the kind of man that you'd love, and you're certainly not feeling like a queen when it comes to relationships. Who feels like that? I'll be looking in the comments. I used to be in so much lack around fertility and time running out. Now I feel very calm and knowing. Beautiful, Karina. And I can second that. When Karina came to me, she was completely shut down, numb, actually, and was so much grief. And she was very short with hers, like she wasn't expressive at all. Now this woman, in fact, Karina, I think it's time for you to do another testimonial so everyone can just see your glorious magnificence. In fact, I think Charlotte and I are working on a case study about you, so let me get that out to these gorgeous women so they can really see where Karina was and she now, because it is unrecognizable. It is literally night and fucking day. So thank you for sharing. Hey, gorgeous Rachel, good to see you. And another beautiful client who just joined Soul. Okay, so I still haven't got. Okay, so those really feel The truth is that while I don't want you to feel defined by your age at all, because it is just a number, I want to keep it really real that especially when it comes to fertility, time doesn't wait. Our eggs do not wait for us to get our shit together. So if this is you, even if you don't want to have your own baby, but you want to adopt, it's still the same conversation. Some of my 40 plus are the worst culprits because they're acting like they've got all the time in the world. I'm like, sister, every day that you're leaving this, you've still got your heart protected. You are not aligned with being the best version of yourself. You're not aligned to experience intimacy. You're not aligned with the kind of mother that you could be, right? Because we only want to bring children into the world where we're going to provide that form and that foundation where they feel safe, where they feel held, where they have a mother being the best version of themselves. And I can literally speak to that right now, that I am so grateful that I took a look and called myself out when I was full of shit, because I was that person that legitimately thought that I was being authentic. I thought I was vulnerable. I thought I was a great catch. I mean, I was a great catch, just like you are, but I was so out of alignment that, thank the Lord, I didn't bring a baby into the world back then. I was a walking fucking shit show. I really, really was. And I was still a nice human and a friend, but I was no way ready, even though back then when I was in my 20s, to attract my soulmate and have a baby. Thank God I didn't. I would be divorced by now, and that's okay. You get a second shot if you're divorced, but you don't have to go through all. And this is about taking express train to liberate yourself so that you can use this fear of time and transmute it into, oh my God, I'm going to take action right now because I'm sick of being run by time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, hey, time, thank you for coming up in my face. I am going to do the work right now so I never have to feel that you are holding this over me again. Because if you're not changing what you're doing and you're being a victim to time, same fucking thing, dabbling with your life and doing, the odd podcast, that is not enough. It's not. Otherwise, you wouldn't be in this situation right now. So this is about being radically honest with yourself to go, time is doing its thing. You're not. Forward. You're not. Take that in. Time waits for no man or no woman, but we all have the same opportunity to rise. It's going to come down to which fucking day do you want to choose. Nothing wrong with today. Don't be a dabbler in this community. Don't just come in and watch these lives and then wonder why a year later you haven't changed anything. That's called being a spectator. It's like people that know they need heart surgery, but they just go and interview all the best surgeons. Meanwhile, they're risking their life. But the people that are smart get resourceful so that they can get on that table and have that heart surgeon do the surgery so that they can stay alive. They're not sitting there in the wings just going, oh, well, maybe I'll get the heart surgery in a couple of months. I just want to do all my research first. I don't know if I really, really need it. Maybe I could just eat a bit better. What the fuck? This is as your love life. Love is the highest currency. And if you're not valuing yourself and taking yourself seriously to go, I need the best level of support right now, then you're selling out on yourself. So this is the first part of the question that I want to speak to is, time rewards those of you that say, you know what, I'm ready to step the fuck up. I am going to be the chosen one. I do want to be a mother, or whatever your dream is. And you know what? I better start doing something differently right now, because the help is always here. But if you're just sitting there dabbling and just occasionally, engaging with what your issues are, you're going to find yourself single in the next quarantine and the quarantine after that. And it's going to be a lot more painful the second time around if we ever have to go through this again. So time is your best friend if you want to use it, and now would be the time to actually use it. Yeah? You snooze, you lose. It's really that conversation. So, okay, I hear you girls on, I'm running out of time. That is really freaky. I have been there. And that is why I don't give a fuck, Lucy, if you've done 10 years of self-development. Clearly, you still have your heart closed. So you better try something different, sister. This was the conversation I had with myself. And then because I had the urgency of this is not fucking negotiable, I want a family and I'm not willing to compromise, that is when I got into serious action. And that is when I finally got my heart open. And I was like, fuck, I wish I had that urgency 10 years ago, because then I wouldn't have had to spend 10 years. But it was because I was in that dabbling frequency and I was lifting those years up against the wall. True. I could have done this a lot quicker for myself, and I'm taking women through it a lot faster than my own process. And that makes my heart sing because it doesn't have to take 10 years. So let me get to the rest of the question. I feel desperate and needy. I'm terrified that I'll never meet my beautiful soulmate. And so when I come across these men, that's what sends them running, is my neediness. Okay. Who can relate to a conversation that when things start to get serious or even just a little bit serious and you don't know where you stand, right? When it starts to get down into like, oh shit, I'm starting to have feelings here. Oh my God, he likes, I don't know who to be. I'm pretty sure I'm not the person that used to happen to. I'm going to move on until I start seeing some comments because this is your Q&A. I don't want you just to hear me talking. I want to be talking with you. Hey, Gemma Burt, how are you, darling? I know, right? Julia Karina Brooke is a fucking star, that's for sure. Hey, Sam Marine. Who's scared to be vulnerable in relationships? Who knows go into that neediness when the guy starts pulling away and then you feel like it's going to end and then you start overcompensating? Anyone in here? Yeah. And I'm not moving on until I start seeing more interaction. Julia Sellers, I've definitely been in the needy zone. Thank you, darling. Yes. And you only have to look at Julia Sellers' profile to see she's one hell of a man, right? And this is sometimes the women that it happens to the most. They're absolutely beautiful. And men are so beautiful, but then when it comes to actually bringing in your heart, it's like oh, fuck, please don't make me do that. Yeah? Godfrey, oh God, yes, that was me and could be me again when I meet a new man. That is what I've learned from Soul to Soul. That is what I've learned from Soul to Soul will really be needed. Yeah, we've got the tools now, so you can just go back over those and keep deepening. Gorgeous one. Jen, both you and Julia have changed so much, but it's this horrible version of ourselves that doesn't feel good, where we get really needy. We're like, oh my God, why haven't you texted yet? Why haven't you followed up with me? Like, I thought you liked me. That's the internal dialogue, and you start to get excited thinking, this could be my guy, and you start to get excited. But then when he, you're too scared to be honest about how you really feel. Hey, you know what? I'm actually starting to have any self-expression around this. Neha, I'm not being my full self. So when the guy pulls away, I hold on tighter. Yes, Neha. That's exactly. Yes, Rachel agrees. Yes, yes, yes. When the guy pulls away, this used to be me 100%. I would then go, oh my God, I need to try and make this work. Or, I know that this guy, I've heard that he's not good at settling down. Or I've heard he's not good at commitment. I know that I'm going to be the girl to change that. I'm just going to keep showing up and I'll try a little harder. And because deep, deep down, your little girl feels like she has to work really hard for love. And she doesn't trust that there's a man that could actually just love you for everything that you are and everything that you're not. So when the guy starts to feel you getting serious and then he's not reciprocating the way that you desire, whoa, that neediness kicks in overdrive. And then the guy definitely pulls right away and then you can feel it and then you move forward and then he pulls back and then you move forward. And before you know it, script ends, you're writing it. Men always leave. Just as I start to like a guy, that's when he leaves. Right? This is so true in the past, really got so needy when they pulled away. That's right, Karina. And what that speaks to is you girls not being rooted down into your supreme confidence. If it gets wobbly for you in the early stages of dating, it just means that you are definitely not where you need to be when it comes to your own deservability. You don't trust yourself when it comes to love, and you don't trust vulnerability. It doesn't feel safe for you. You're like, I don't even know how to do that, Lucy. I know how to truly expose how I feel with a man because it feels too scary. It feels far too fragile. The truth is in this conversation that many of you are kidding yourselves that you're being vulnerable when it's actual neediness. That was me. If I didn't get what I wanted in a relationship, I got really fucking needy and I could never figure out why the man was pulling away. This exact conversation, I was not standing in my feminine power. I didn't have that unwavering self-worth. It was all superficial confidence. It was me knowing I was a catch. I had my friends telling me I was a good, that I didn't have a face like a smashed crab, but it was a very artificial level of deservability. And it wasn't enough to serve me to be able to have a relationship and actually hold on to that relationship. I got so wobbly in the legs like jelly. And all I knew was that relationships ended, that I wasn't the chosen one, that men didn't commit to me. And that story was way stronger than my deservability. And that's what's going on for you girls right now. Rachel said, absolutely, that worry about them running away, that comes from insecurity and not being in tune with them, or the feeling of not deserving love or being comfortable. Absolutely, yes, Julia. Smash crab. But I got a honk from the traffic. It's always my orchestra, the universe. So that's really all I want to comment on in today's Q&A, is that men want the real you. The universe wants the real you. And who you've been looking for your entire life is the real you. And she's always been inside of you ever since you were born. It's just that you've moved further and further away from who you really are, with all the conditioning from family dynamics, things that were passed down from your ancestors, culturally, just in your social environment. And so your identity is flawed right now with who you really are. Many of you are living at about 20%. You're not bringing in who you are at all. I used to joke and say I may as well have called myself Sonia when I was dating, because Lucy wasn't showing. That's in my book. I use this example. I'm like, I seriously should have just changed my name. Lucy wasn't anywhere to be felt, because when I'm in my fucking vulnerability from a place of power, that shit is magnetic. That was when I booked acting roles. That is why I'm now with my husband. When I'm in my full glory, that is why my women want to work with me. But that is because I did the work to make it safe for myself to show up unapologetically like this is me. And that's why my women that work with me, because that is what I want. I want someone modeling for me who the fuck they really are, so that I can do that for myself. And I do not worry whether people like me or not. Of course I'd love people to like me. That's just like a natural human thing, but it's none of my business. I've got a way bigger mission, which is to in women's hearts to get into who they are. That is my mastery. I was worried whether people like me or not. I wouldn't be going live, and I certainly wouldn't be running a business. It'd be too risky for my little girl. I had to learn how to come home to myself, to step into my queen, and to get this heart open and keep it open. And that is what's missing in your life right now, divine ones. That ability to really get your courage on and do whatever it's going to fucking take to bring your true self to your life. You don't have to look hard for your soulmate when you're walking your talk and you're being who you really are. It's fucking magnetic. One of the girls right now in my mastermind, she was sharing something very deep about herself in a way that she hadn't before. And every one of us was crying on the teaching the other day. Every one of us was just like, oh my God, you are amazing, because she had the courage to reveal her truth. And it was incredibly moving. And it made us be closer to her. But her underlying story was that I can't share this. This is what she'd kept for 30 years because people will reject me, or people will think, no, it was her stunning vulnerability that hooked us all in. We're just like, I want more of that. Because you know what it's saying? I want more of you. I can feel you. So when no one can feel you, men can't feel you, your friends can't feel you. And when you've got like a tattoo of like, I've got this across your forehead, it's not magnetic, it's repellent. That's what independent means. I've got this. You don't want to be independent, you want to be interdependent, to coexist with another human being, aka your soulmate, where you allow him into your life. So when you're crying, he can catch you, he can cuddle you, he can support you. But being independent, it's like, no, I'm good. And you'll go and take care of your tears and come out and share once you've cleaned up that hot mess. No, let people be part of your tears. That's what's connecting. God, now I have complete love, faith, and trust in myself. I trust myself to remain in my deservability and my divine feminine. Yes, because you're such a fucking beautiful, amazing, heart-centered woman, Jen. I liked you at hello, but darling, you have just done such a deep dive into your heart, and I would accept anything conversation, having that rhetoric of, knowing that the time is ticking and that you're afraid that your time is running out, and knowing that you're needy, just by saying that and having that awareness, it is the first step. So I want to honor you for that, at least cough up that verbal, that's how you're feeling. But it's going to be completely insignificant unless you do something with it, unless you go, well then, so I don't end up in the same place this time next year, what the fuck am I going to put in place? I'm aware that I feel like the clock is ticking. I'm aware that I get needy and I have no fucking idea what I'm going to do right now to take care of myself. And that's what I'm asking you. What are you going to do to value and love yourself enough to truly heal this little girl that is sabotaging every relationship because she's stuck in victimhood, because she doesn't feel enough, because she knows she gets needy and she can't count on herself to show up in that woman? You need to get support. It is the most powerful, potent thing you can do, is to honor yourself enough to be deeply held and supported through a process. So you're not sitting there on some island dabbling and doing the bare minimum and only talking about what's wrong. It's not going to change anything. Hey, gorgeous Kate Lindsay, I'm just about to finish. So I hope that's been helpful to you. I'm not going in here to, some of you might say, well, then how do I be vulnerable? It's not something I just give you in one live. I don't hand out band-aids, yeah? I'm not here just to give out advice. That's not my job. My job is to activate the deeper parts of you that you're turning a blind eye to. I can certainly help you and take you through a fucking profound process and get you back home to who you are in 8 weeks. That's all it takes, right? With your commitment. But is how you get vulnerable. How you get vulnerable is doing the deep work to get rid of the bodyguards and to start to discover who you really are without all that armor. And that is you stepping in and igniting your beautiful feminine energy. It's soft, it's powerful, it's magnetic, it's got a lot of trust energy, it's full of deservability. And when you're in your divine feminine, you're connected to the divine. When you're in your masculine, you're disconnected from the divine. Now we need both, because the masculine is the thing that says, let's get into action. But the feminine is when you're in your flow and you're communicating with the divine, where your heart space. The heart is the feminine. The womb is the feminine. And when you do the work to get aligned with your superb, stunning vulnerability and your heart and your womb space, and allow yourself to drop into your feelings and your emotions and get that true sense of who you really, really are, and you make that the priority, having a strong relationship is inevitable. It's going to flow to you, because like attracts like. And when you turn your light back on and you get your eyes sparkling again, you're going to have to be pushing men away, because they're going to be like, I want that girl. And it's not from the outfit you're wearing. It's from the essence and the energy and your aura that is undeniable. Okay, so I can definitely help you with that. Kate, so best 8 weeks ever spent. Sorry I missed this. I'll go back to the beginning. No problem. I know. I love you. It was amazing spending those 8 weeks with you as well. Anyway, beautiful ones, when you're watching the replay, please post your comments and I will always get back to you, and I'll see you next week. Stay well, stay safe, hydrate, 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 have all your vitamin C's, and get lots of eucalyptus. What I've been doing is I've got eucalyptus and I put it in one of those, let me show you.